enough about Kanye. I'm gonna have to save that for like another podcast. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the motherfucking show, the show with no name. I am your boy, your host once again, Ken Jones, and I got my boy back. I'm having him back again because I did an interview with him already, but due to some bullshit, the files did not come all the way through as I wanted. So we gonna start this from the top one more time. I'm gonna introduce my boy for the second time.
Yes,
My
sir.
boy, my brother from Grambling, my crab brother. We sweat blood, sweat and tears uh, together in the Grambling world famed Tiger Marching Band, and he is now a up and coming future big artist that's in the scene right now, straight out of Monroe, Louisiana. My motherfucking boy, Be Easy. Be Easy. Go ahead, tell this crowd once again about yourself. Let the people know who you are, man.
Yes, sir, man. I go by the name of Be Easy. A lot of people know me as B.
Yeah.
Uh, Monroe, Louisiana native, North Side representative, Grambling State alumni, world
Uh,
fame alumni,
what you
uh,
graduated in, by the way?
business management.
There you go. That's perfect. That's perfect. What you need to know in this rap game.
Yeah, you got to, bro. You got to know the ins and outs of, and how everything works and how everything generates revenue. Because
Oh yeah.
95% of the world, is generated off of revenue somehow through some type of service or business or, whatever.
Mhm. Yeah, and don't fall for that trap either, especially for a young artist and stuff. And I mean, for example, for what we were just talking about before we started this show, we was talking about Kanye, and my thing is, don't fall for that trap. Be
Fact.
careful who be careful who you work with, because motherfucker will drop an album on you without even sending you a text message in the morning. But so yeah, you graduated in the business. Um, like I said, you're down south, up and coming rapper in the game, and I wanted to have this interview with you for like a long time, even though this is our second one. But I
Yeah,
still wanted to have this interview with you for a long time because I've heard your shit, and I said it once and I said it again. Out of all people that I listen to back home, people like around my circle, your music is the main one I stream the most. Like for real, your for real album. Uh, I play that shit when I'm in the gym. Actually, after this interview, like that shit is on my workout playlist. By the way, that Ray, how you say Ray Static?
Ray Stanzik, yeah.
Yeah, that. Hey, like I said, that Ray Static. That shit sounds like a Draco. Like I thought it was a gun when I first looked at it. I ain't knew what it was. When I first looked at it before I even listened to the song. Like, oh, Ray Stans. Oh, you got that Ray Stans going on. That must be a gun that I don't know about because I'm so old school. Everybody coming up with new names and shit.
Uh,
So,
man.
before we get in more in depth about your albums, I just want to start off with a basic question. So, your passion for rapping, how did it start?
It started when I was like 9, man. Just
Yeah.
listening to rap music in general, other types of music genre. People don't even know before I listened to rap music, I was listening to like pop music. So I was listening to like
Hmm.
NSYNC, fucking Backstreet Boys, all type of rock shit. What's Green Day, the Gorillas.
Man, please tell these motherfuckers that it's okay for black people like us to listen to like we gonna blast that shit now in our car from time to time because I'm the same shit too. I ain't mean to cut you off, but it's just that I'm glad a lot of people are coming out uh just admitting like we listen to these pop music too, even though it's white folk shit, but we
Hey,
still fucks with it, you know what I'm saying? And you never know, like this could have been the basis of learning a more of a learning curve of our music to get better at something, you know? like you could have you could learn something off of this pop music, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, go ahead, give what you say. I just get that off my chest.
No, that's facts. And to like rebuttal off of that, like I feel like me listening to pop and rock before I listen to rap music like helped me diversify my sound because like when
Hmm.
I heard rap music, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I think my first rap album that I actually ever I didn't even buy it. I was given a CD by my uncle. He stayed next door to me. Shout
Yeah.
out my uncle Carrie. It was a 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. I'll never forget. And that was when In the Club came out, Many
Hmm.
Men, all of that shit. And I asked him, I was like, hey man, let me get this CD. Like, how much you'll
Hmm.
charge me for this CD? And he was like, I'll give it to you, but you can't let your mom and them know I gave you this CD. It's true
Right.
for because it was explicit. And I listened
Hmm.
to that CD, bro, and it literally changed my life just because 50 Cent was literally telling a story about his
Right.
life, and shit that he went through, and it just, appealed to me. And that's when I started listening to other artists and started
Yeah.
listening to Boosie and Wayne and Houston, a lot of Houston artists like Zero and Big Pokey and
Big Pokey.
Slim, yeah, the list goes on, man. So uh,
That's new. You didn't I don't know if I did ask you that question, but that's new. I'm glad that you said that because I didn't know that your first rap album that you listened to would be 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying, you know.
Facts.
And
And
then
it's crazy. He's not even my favorite rapper in the game. Like he's definitely
mm,
like top 10 in the game, like just all time for me, just because of that album and like what he's done for music in the last
right.
15 years alone. But like the one who appealed to me the most that just like made me want to take rapping serious was Boosie, man. I can't even lie. Like
Yeah.
Boosie spoke to me, and a lot of people might just be like, well, "What about Wayne? What about the Hot Boy? What about Master P?" Like I listened to them too, but it was just something about Boosie, something about the story, something about his
Yeah.
voice. Because when Lil Wayne came out, there were a whole bunch of other Lil Wayne impersonators that tried to come behind.
Yeah.
But when Boosie came out and when Webby came out, we had never heard any shit like that before.
Trail fam.
Yeah, and that shit just blew my mind, man, and it really just made me look at music a different way. It's like, all right, I can talk about my
Hmm.
life through this music. I can really
Yeah.
do this shit. And I start freestyling, man. I start freestyling, and I never had wrote a verse from the age of 9 to the age of like 25. Like I had wrote my first verse my senior year in college. I was
That's
freestyling
something new too. I mean, shit. So you just started off just spitting out of the top of your head when you was 9 years old or
facts,
growing up. Damn.
facts. Like
I
because
wish I
I,
was
I
like that.
I felt like I couldn't. I felt like I couldn't write it down. I'm gonna just be honest. I feel like I couldn't. Like I didn't know how to. I wouldn't know how to word it. So I feel like freestyling was so in the moment, and it wasn't scripted. It was something that just literally came off the top of my head, and I would just
Yeah.
I'd make it make sense, bro. So uh,
Damn.
fast forward, to the day, and I actually learned how to write and put together a song and put track lists together and, do rollouts for mixtapes and albums and music videos and shit like that. And, that was the foundation to, start, the artistry that I'm, crafting today.
Damn, man. That's dope as fuck. I mean, that's a God gift talent, and especially when you realize what you can do at 9 years old. Is anybody around your household saw that gift and kept on you, like kept honing that? Like you have like your parents or uncle or something like that that keeps inspiring you. Did you have anybody like that kept inspiring you as a child to keep going with that?
I'm gonna be honest, no, because I grew up in a very Christian household. So I was going to church every Sunday. My parents were listening to a lot of R&B and gospel music,
Right.
and rap wasn't really allowed in my house until a certain age in my life. You feel me?
Yeah.
So a lot of rap music that I had to listen to, I had to listen in private, or I had to listen real low on my stereo because I knew
Hmm.
like moms or pops gonna come in there tripping. And it really wasn't so my dad, because my dad listened to a lot of Biggie, before I was born and shit like that. So, and I
Mm-hmm.
think a little bit afterwards, but for the most part, it was like really R&B. It was like a lot of soul, neo soul, and
Mm-hmm.
classic music, and gospel for sure, for sure. But I had no motivation. My motivation was just me loving music, and that incorporated with the band and shit too, like just me getting in the band and wanting to do something with music. And I think when I got in the band in sixth grade, that like let me know, like, okay, music's gonna be a part of my life forever. Like this is something that I want to do, whether I'm a, you know, band director, fucking
Mm-hmm.
musician, a rapper, a singer, even if I'm behind the scenes and I'm owning the label, I knew I was gonna be
Mm-hmm.
doing something with music for the rest of my life. And it
And
all
I mean, man, God bless you. When I was in sixth grade, when I got into the band, I hated band. I hated band with a passion when I was in middle school. Like, um, when I was in band, and shout out to Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams was a really strict teacher. And matter of fact, Mr. Williams worked along with you remember Mr. Spencer. He worked Mr. Spencer's daughter worked under him.
okay.
So yeah, so in Turner Middle School, Shreveport, Louisiana. So when I was there, I was trying to act like an asshole. So it was like, what instrument you want to play? I want to play the flute. You know, just being a smart ass. He was like, okay, I got something for your ass. So he put me on clarinet. My first instrument was clarinet,
Okay, I never
and
did it.
yeah, a lot of people in the band that I went in the band with in Graham. A lot of people don't know that my first instrument was clarinet, and I used to hate it band so bad. I used to cry like, "Ooh, I hate band." Um, but Mr. Williams saw something once I started playing. When I started playing the flute, he noticed that I had like a talent in music because I moved up from like clarinet to bass clarinet and um and saxophone and and also I played a little trumpet as well too. And so, uh-oh, got it. You got it. Yeah, so I came to the point where I started to like music. It took me a minute, but I ended up liking playing instruments. And one thing about me playing instruments, I wasn't good of knowing the notes. Like I didn't read music well, but if I heard a tune and I know the rhythm, then I could play the shit out of it. And shout out to Mr. Williams because we went from Mr. Williams. I wouldn't had kept going in music. I wouldn't have kept going in band. Um, so one thing that kept me motivated, kept me going. I saw Mr. Williams before I went to high school. Uh, I was picking my cousin up from the airport. And he was going to Las Vegas, and Mr. Williams said, "Look, I'm gonna tell you something. You don't see it, but I see it." He said, "You got a light inside of you that's gonna shine throughout the whole world." You know, he said, "One thing that I just want you to do is don't," because he was really on me because I got in a lot of trouble because he know that I was really focused on fighting the school because that was like my main popularity at that time in middle school. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna fight just for attention," and I was going through a lot. But
Yeah,
he saw, besides just being physical, he know that I can do something in music that could probably change my life or others. So
hey,
I used that to keep going. I could have easily like went to football, basketball, any sport. Like I was a big dude when y'all met me. I was a big dude when I was in high school, but I wanted to be different. So shout out to Mr. Williams, you know,
that I missed.
and
Yeah,
God rest his soul too, because I just found out like he had died. I think like this year or last year or something like that.
man, rest in peace, man.
Oh yeah, but yeah, this is something that you know not just for me and you, but for other people out there, always stay encouraged. Like even though you don't have somebody to motivate you, but if it's something that you love, like stay motivated to keep going because this is your passion. So stay at it. So shout out to you for what you've been doing. Uh, also, I want to talk about one of these albums real quick. I want to say which album that you felt like this is the hit right here, like this is this is gonna be the shit. Like,
Mm. I'm gonna
you
be honest.
know,
I
which
think
one you have the most? I guess what I'm trying to say is like which one of those albums you have like the most personal emotional connection to?
mm, that's a good question. Let me.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest. Off the top of my head, I'm gonna say my very first one, 2020 Vision, because I dropped it in 2018 or was it 19? It was either 2018 or 2019. I dropped that project, and it was my first project. I was kind of nervous, just about like the feedback and how people
Hmm.
would feel about it. But I'm gonna save my first one just because "Break It Down" was the song that everybody knew and loved.
Hmm.
It's to this day that's my most viewed video on Facebook and YouTube.
What's it called?
Break It Down.
Break it down. Okay, that's just something for me and the listeners to look it up and stuff. So, and that's the thing too. Um, that's something I also struggle with as well because I've been trying to get into that mood of trying to rap again, and write music again, and you
Yeah.
have all these doubts and stuff. So, how do you fight those doubts? You know what I'm saying? Like when you started to like, I don't know if people gonna feel this. Oh shit, I don't even know if I feel this. Like, how do you conquer that in your own personal opinion? Because I know everybody different, but how do you do it?
Honestly, I listen to it so much because I'm like my biggest critique. I'm my biggest critic. I
Yeah.
tell it all the time. So I'm listening to the song, 20 times through a day if it's just one particular song. If my project is done, like now, I
Hmm.
got 7 songs that I listen to every single morning just to find a flaw or find, something fucked up in the
Yeah.
mix or something fucked up in the verse. And I could have said that better. And I just write, bro. Like whenever I feel like, shit, I feel like I could have did better on this track than the next one, I'll come up with something new. And that's
Yeah.
just my way of getting over it. But, to my surprise, every time I drop something, it's like people always tell me, like, man, it's my favorite song. It helped me,
Hmm.
get through this, that, and the third, or I use this to fucking wake up in the morning. Even if it's one song off the project, you feel me? The fact that that
Yeah.
person took the time to reach out to me and let me know, further put in my mind, like, okay, you thinking too hard about this shit. Like, I know
Hmm.
you want to doubt yourself sometime, but keep writing. And that's the thing I tell people all the time. Like, you gotta stay consistent and you got to keep the brain waves just
Yeah.
flowing because once this right here stops, then
This
that's
stuff's
that.
hard.
Yeah, your ideas are gone, bro.
This stuff's hard. I mean, I can relate to that. Like me doing podcasting and editing like skits and everything. Like once I start focusing on hustling more than, and I mean hustling like just my job wise, but
Yeah,
once I started to, when I started to lose that, like the flow of getting back into it, doing skits and editing interviews and all kind of shit that I be doing, it is tough. Like it's a mental challenge. Like I just come right here and I just sit, and my mind be like getting distracted. Like I get on my phone or whatever. You know,
fact.
I'm telling people like you saying the same thing too. Like if it's something that you love, even though no matter how small it is or big or whatever, once you start focusing, I guess just being adulthood just can do that to you. You know,
That's
like
fact.
when you just yeah, when you so focused on like just trying to be an adult and trying to make this money, how to pay this bill and stuff, and you get come home and do this and do that, And you gotta have an off day. That's the one thing I've learned. You gotta have an off day to yourself
Got
to
to.
stay on that craft. You
Fact.
know, I think what people really need to do is craft something that you always wanted to do. Like I have a project that I'm working on in my mind as well, and I'm gonna do it like on a dedication for Chadwick Boseman. Um,
I
and
like
I've
that.
been getting yeah, I've been getting a lot of doubts about that too. Uh, like I just want to do a monologue, and the reason why I want to do a monologue not have just because people have been saying that I look like him as well. Uh, I had posted like a picture of me like cosplaying as T'Challa a little bit, and I've just been looking at what Chadwick Boseman has done, in the acting community and all, and just overall what he's done before he died. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and I've just been getting doubts and shit. But I gotta just figure out a way and make the time to do it, despite of how people feel, you know. Cause
And
go ahead.
I realized, bro, I used to go through that, bro. I realized, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when it comes to just like doubting yourself and shit, you gotta think about like even like with work, like bro, I even keep it 1,000 with you. Like through COVID, I was working the whole time, but I
Mm-hmm.
made a goal and I said, all right, I'm gonna drop at least two projects and a whole bunch of fucking singles.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna actually utilize the internet more during this time because we at home. So it's like, why the fuck ain't you using the internet? And I started utilizing that shit more, and I started seeing like, okay, maybe if I start setting goals and the
Yeah.
days that I'm off, I'm actually creating content. Even if you're doing little shit, bro. Like even if you're coming up with a concept for a skit and then next week you shoot it on
Mm.
that off day that you have to yourself. When you're not working, perfect your craft, man, because you literally got 24 hours in that day, and if you let them 24 hours go, you literally wasted time on your own, you know what I'm saying, on your own watch that you could have used to perfect your craft, man. So I
Yeah.
always tell and don't let that job hold you back because I know we gotta pay bills, I know we gotta hustle, I know we gotta get money,
Yeah.
but I don't even think about a career at my job anymore. Like I work at a movie theater right now. I'm a chef, a cook. You think I want to be like the head chef in that bitch and training
Mm-hmm.
motherfuckers? No, I'm just there to work, get my check, and go home so I can come home and write music. So I
Yeah.
can go to the studio because I'm so tunnel vision. So I think it's some mental that you have to see right now. Even
Yeah.
though it's not here, you gotta see that shit and you gotta know like, okay, I want this. And
Yeah.
what the fuck am I gonna do to work towards it?
Yeah. And that's another thing too. One thing I've witnessed and seen a lot of people, and I like how Will Smith said this as well too. Will Smith said, "Don't be settled for mediocrity. Don't
Fact.
be settled for just get up, go to work, come home, and that's it." Like, and you're just doing that. Like now, for some people that just want to settle for that mediocrity, just have that type of simple life, that's more power to you. But it's constant people that are living their lives right now that I've always wanted to do this, but those type of doubts of because you being your own worst critic. That's one thing that keeps a lot of people from going doing what they want to do is you being your own worst critic. But at the end of the day, despite how people will react, at the end of the day, you went for it and you did that shit. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? You went for it and you did that shit. You tested it. You see how it planned out. At least you went out and did the shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Fact.
that's one thing I wanted to have you on this interview right now because there's a lot of up and coming artists or up and coming chefs or whoever actor, people like me. Like I want to be an actor. I see myself doing like a lot of things in the entertainment, but I keep doubting myself. Actually, this conversation right now is more of a motivation than if you didn't know. So
Hey, and it's supposed to be like that.
yeah,
Like and take that out. I want to be an actor out of your vocabulary. I'm going to be an actor. It start with the tongue, bro. It start manifestation is so fucking real, dog. Like
Yeah.
even if you once you put it in the universe, it doesn't matter how long it takes to come back to you. Eventually, the universe will reciprocate that same energy that you put out there.
Yeah.
So every morning I wake up, I say I will make it in the music industry. I will marry my
Mhm.
fiance. I will be able, to pay off all of my debt. I will be able to take care of my whole family. I'm not saying I hope, I pray every day, but I'm saying in my
Yeah.
prayer that like God, I know this is gonna happen. I will
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
you know. Of course, you got to put the work in too. Like,
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like most people say they will do this and will do that. I'm gonna do this, but you gotta be willing to go through hell to get there. Like you gotta get up. You gotta take the. Here's what I go through when I post skits, and podcasts and stuff. Like you gotta be willing to accept the fact like a lot of people not gonna see it. You're gonna have to accept the fact like a lot of people not gonna fuck with it. You gotta be willing to accept the fact that you know people say you suck, or whatever. I mean, of course, like I'm my own biggest critic. At the end of the day, I'm still gonna keep doing what I got to do in order to get better. Only way for me to get better that I have to do it, and I have to go through failure and mistakes, despite how people will say. Same thing goes with you. Like, and I'm gonna ask you this question. Um, Speaking of that, of all the songs that you put out, which one you feel like is the most one that slept on?
That's a good one. That's a
Like you
okay.
said you say that Break It Down is a hit, but which one that you feel like, man, y'all motherfuckers, y'all that shit good, but y'all motherfuckers need to sit down and listen to this one.
I'm gonna give you two.
Right.
Uh, One is called Life on the Line.
Okay.
It's on chapter 2. I dropped that last year. Yeah, like
Okay.
last year, right before. I think it's like December or some shit, December, November, something like that.
And
And
why? Why Life on the Line is the first slept on one?
life on the line is slept on me personally because I got so deep into it. Like
Yeah.
certain people text me about that song. It was like, damn, that really happened to you. I was like, yeah, and I went in depth and told them what happened. But
Yeah.
that song was personal to me because everything I said in that song literally happened from
Mm-hmm.
my brother telling me like, hey, we're gonna run up 1 million together, to you know my troubles and shit when I was in college, and some more personal shit. And I feel like that one right there was just something that I had to get out at the time. And I feel
Yeah.
like people like my hype shit. I feel like people love the hype shit that I put out, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that one was more to the heart, to the soul for me personally. I feel like a lot of people didn't, gravitate to it like they would my other songs.
Yeah, because people gonna focus more on the hype shit and the beats. That's one thing I've realized growing up and listening to music. A lot of people will skip over certain tracks. Like you really have to train yourself to listen to the whole album because there's some shit out there that's really fire. And yeah, it can be emotional, but then at the end of the day, no, you probably need to hear it if you're running from it. You know what I'm saying? Like if don't be running from the truth. You know, like no man, I ain't feeling that shit, man. This shit too emotional. I don't want to go. I don't want to do that, bro. But you have to give it a chance, and this may be something that you need. You know, you can't be just focused on uh all the selling drugs and
Yeah,
the pistol pop and all that kind of shit and the holes. This is something that you probably want to hear, and but you're refusing it. So you need to hear it if you're refusing it. What's your second one?
my second one is my latest one on my For Real project, and it's my very last song. It's called I Want It.
Yeah, I listen to that. I like that one. Even
I
though
want
Great Stance is my workout music, but I like that one. So why I want is slept on. Is another one that some you went through.
Yeah, like this was like a situation that actually happened between me and one of my former friends. And I'm just giving you a day in the life of me on the north side, you know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
you know, and just in Monroe in general. And I'm just like in the hook, I talk about me and my bros and uh like me splitting money with my friends and shit like that, and just all the shit that I want, you know, and just
Mhm.
you know, like telling people like, hey, if you plant that seed and you watch it grow, for sure, like
Yeah.
everything is gonna happen. Just make sure you reap what you sow at the end of the day, you know. And it's in the song that was just real personal to me, you know, me and just some it took me back. You feel me? That beat
Yeah.
really spoke, the beat really spoke to me, and I just you know I let my pen do the talking.
Oh yeah. All right. So I'm gonna get to this one question. I'd have asked you this before, but this is gonna be for like the listener's sake. I already know your answer, but if there was an artist or a rap group that um that was coming out like on a concert, which rap group that you would love to open for?
Rap group or rapper.
Oh, rapper, it both. A rapper or rap group. You know, if they had a concert, they want you to do an opening. Which one that you would love to open for?
Rap group definitely be somebody like the Migos for sure. Just because of how big they've been.
I
And-
thought it was Boosie.
oh no, you said I was saying rap group. I was gonna say
Oh,
rapper.
that was
I
coming
was gonna
second.
say the rapper too. And you
My
know,
bad. Shit. I done fucking spoiled it. It's out there. Go ahead.
yeah, you know. But Boosie, I definitely open up for Boosie for sure, for sure. If even though if given the opportunity, for sure.
Yeah. Shit. I'm thinking like shit. I'm thinking I'm a bad host. I forget. I
Nah,
done fuck around. I done fuck around and forgot the answer. So you would open up rap group wise, you would open up for the Migos.
for sure, for sure. Like if it was a
Okay.
group, any group in the world, I had to open up for right now, I'd definitely be
Hey,
them.
baby. Uh, baby just walked in. All right, and rapper, I knew that answer, but I spoiled it for the listeners. It would be Boosie. Okay, cool. Now, if you was having a concert, who would you want somebody to open for you?
Mm. Like somebody famous or somebody up and coming.
Don't matter. Be
Uh,
anybody.
open up for me. I have to say right now, if I wanted anybody to open up for me, it'd be my boy Question Mark. We actually have an album together. It's in my archives. It's called Double Trouble.
Oh,
And
okay.
me and him on the whole project. He's actually the funny story. He's actually the reason that I write music today. And I feel like my music is way better than, you know, it has ever been. He's the
Mhm.
one who actually put this logic. And I want the listeners to understand this. Like, if you're a rapper, you're an up and coming artist, even if you're a singer, put
Yeah.
this into perspective. If you freestyle, if when you write your rhymes down, you're literally freestyling. You just putting your thoughts on paper, or you putting
Yeah.
thoughts on your phone. You know, it's the same logic.
You know what? I kind of didn't think of it like that.
Yeah. No,
I'm sitting to say, yeah. But I was sitting like, yeah, I kind of didn't think of it like that. I don't know why I'm like it. That's actually true. But I guess that the fact that freestyling and stuff is like, I don't know. A lot of people feel like it's more organic, it's more real, more raw. I guess than just writing it out. You
it
know.
is.
But at the end of the day,
Totally agree.
yeah. But at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter if you're right or you freestyle. At the end of the day, you're a rapper or not. As long as you know what you're saying and as long as it rhymes,
Facts.
it makes sense. All right. So question mark. And if you was coming out with an album, like this is like a big album with a record label or something like that, or you're being independent. Who would be the rapper or the rap group that you want to feature on your album?
Drake.
That's a good ass answer.
Drake.
Drake, that's instantly 200 mil right there.
Not
So
not to take nothing away from Boosie because I like Boosie would be more personal. Like I not to take away from my fans, I would because I know the fans would love to see me and Boosie do a track together, but
yeah,
that track would be more personal for me on some like bucket list shit. Like if I wanted to stop rapping today, I got a feature from Boosie, I'm good. Like I don't need
yeah.
the feature from Drake, I don't need the feature from Wayne. But
Oh yeah.
if if we being realistic about it and like this is my debut album and it's any feature I want, I'm taking Aubrey all day. Aubrey Graham for the win,
Man, once I'm done with this interview, I'm tagging Boosie this shit. He got to fuck with you. Like, why not? You from Monroe, you from Rose City, shit. So he got to fuck with you. You know what I'm
bro.
saying?
Yeah, it's gonna happen for sure, for sure.
Oh yeah, like if he listens
It's
to
gonna
this
happen.
shit, he gonna have a lot to relate to this shit. Like he got to fuck with you, him or somebody in Trill fam, or whole Trill fam. Period. Fuck it. Um, and one more question: if you had a chance to write for a rapper or rap group, which one would it be? Would it be Boosie again? Was it just Boosie?
If I had
Period.
to write,
Yeah, like
yeah,
somebody
definitely, definitely
Boosie.
be boosted. Just the only reason I say for I write for boosted is because I want that old, like I want that old Boosie. Like I don't have a problem with the shit that he's dropping now, but I
Oh yeah.
know just from a majority of my peers, like a lot of people don't like Boosie now. They don't like his music. Like they like his antics and everything he's doing as a father, as an entrepreneur. Like they
Mhm.
respect that more than the music. And even when you hear him at concerts, he's not playing a lot of new songs. He's playing a lot of old shit that
Yeah.
people found out about when he was in jail, or you have core fans like me who, just know the song.
Hmm.
I would definitely write for him because I would bring that old Boosie back. Like I gotta get that 2007 first
Hmm.
album Boosie. When
Oh
he
yeah.
first signed with Trill, like he was, I have him talking some shit on there for sure, for
Oh
sure.
yeah. Oh yeah. I feel that. I most definitely feel that. All right. And I'm gonna ask you this question again. I don't know if you remember your answer from the last interview that we did, but I'm gonna ask you this question again. Your top five favorite rappers.
All right, of course we got Boosie, Method Man, Drake, Lil Wayne. Number five, number five, number five.
I remember the other one you said, but I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna let you say it.
Damn, I feel like it was the baby.
Really? No, it wasn't the baby. But
Who
if you change your mind, then I mean, I can't reject you.
who was it though?
You said Big.
Ah,
Yeah,
oh, cause I was like, damn, was it somebody old or was it somebody new? Biggie
it
for
was
sure.
somebody old.
Cause you
I
did
can
say
say,
you did say all time. You did say all time. So yeah, for sure.
yeah, yeah. Like, oh yeah, I should have. Maybe if I had rephrased that question, you would have got like a different answer. I guess I should have said your top five favorite rappers, dead or alive.
For sure.
But
So yeah, Boosie, Method Man, Biggie, Wayne, and Drake. Top five dead
I'm
or
so
alive.
glad you said Method Man because I feel like Method Man as a rapper alone in this hip hop industry, he does not get like enough credit. Like people just remember
Oh,
him, Method Man, throughout the Wu Tang group, but
hey,
y'all got to sit down and listen to Method Man's albums though. Like Method Man, um, he know how to write, freestyle, all of the above, and he still got it.
he still got
He still got it in my opinion because man, my one of my favorite Wu Tang songs, the new ones, it wasn't on their album, but it was with the Logic. Logic got this song called Wu Tang Forever. Man, if there was any rap group I would love to rap with, it would be the whole Wu Tang Clan.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
It would be the whole Wu Tang Clan. If I can't get the whole Wu Tang Clan, I'll take RZA. I'll take give me one. Hell, I take old Dirty Bastard son. I think he rapping and producing now.
I think he is.
Yeah. Oh, another question too. Uh, well, actually, this is going to be a two-part question. Are you planning on to stay independent, or are you planning on to sign with a label in the future if the opportunity presents itself? Now,
No,
I think it's one of
honestly,
those questions. I think it's one of those questions like you really don't know now, but You know.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. It's like we don't know what's gonna happen between now and that time. But I mean,
Hmm.
if it makes sense, I would sign to a label. Of course, it'll be more like a partnership, which I suggest more up and coming artists
Hmm.
research partnerships and label deals as opposed to just signing your whole masters and everything like that over with. Uh, and just learn the game because it's really nothing wrong with signing. Like people have to understand when you're an independent artist, if you're an independent artist, you have
Hmm.
to have a lot of money. One single
Yeah.
on the radio around the whole country to put that in rotation around the country. One single to $200,000.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? If you don't have that as an independent artist, then the label might make sense if you trying to drop a single or you trying to get an album.
Yeah.
But just read the terms, what I'm saying, read the terms, and like I say, work out a partnership, have leverage too. A lot of these artists go into these fucked up deals because they don't have leverage. They don't know how to make their own cover art. They don't know how to record themselves. They
Yeah.
don't know how to make beats. And even if they do, it's to the point where, like, okay, how good are you at it though? Like, is it quality? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, have you been doing it for a while to where you don't need our money to buy studio time and all of that? Because
Yeah.
that goes into your advance. Like, you have to take that out of your advance when you get signed. You have to take travel expenses when you go on the road and do shows, uh,
Hmm.
merch, and album sales, streams, uh, you know, profit margin when it comes to other miscellaneous things that you got dealing with music, whether it's commercials, fucking
Yeah.
podcasts, drops. The label gets a part of all of that. So you have to make sure, like, you reading up on your fine print for sure, for sure. I didn't even know. I just saw an interview with 21 Savage. He owns all of his masters. He has a
Damn. Already.
Yeah, he has a 70-30. What see, this is what a lot of people don't know. 21 Savage went platinum before he got signed. So that's a part of that leverage that he went into the label deal with. Like, I went platinum without y'all, so why do I really need y'all? Y'all need to make it make sense for me. Because some people go in the game thinking like, okay, I signed this deal, this shit gonna set us up for life. But the label is trying to make it convenient for them. They're not making it
Yeah.
convenient for you. You just think it's convenient because they're giving you a shitload of money. And they're like,
Hmm.
hey, you signed, da 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 da. You getting on all these big playlists and YouTube channels and your streams going up, but they getting a majority of all of that. So,
Yeah.
if it makes sense, I'll definitely sign. The goal is to go independent. And once I do sign, like I know I will sign, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have so much going on that I'm gonna be able to pay my label back and buy myself out of my contract because that's
Yeah.
all they want back. They just want their money back at the end of the day.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh yeah.
it's
Oh
it's
yeah.
all
Most
they want.
definitely.
And most labels, I'm not gonna say most, but some labels are understanding and they're like, well, damn, we gave him 500,000. He bought us 500,000 back and told us, he doesn't need us anymore. Okay, we got our money back. We can let him go. So people just have to watch out for shit like that, and just make sure you if you rapping and you doing music, it's for a passion. And it's to
Hmm.
like feed your family. Don't do this shit for clout or do it for the fame because it's gonna be a short lived career.
That's crazy because a lot of people don't think about that when it comes to signing record labels. Reason why I asked, like, do you want to go independent? Because you got rappers like Chance the Rapper, who's also an inspiration of doing things independently, you know, and being on the label, trying to sign on the label requires so much. What you just said, like, you can't just what you bring it to the table, you can't just know how to rap and produce. Like, you gotta know how to do cover art and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta have money on board to do that as well too. And damn, that's a lot of information that a lot of motherfuckers need. A lot of motherfuckers don't know about. Uh, and the last question to this part of that last question I just asked you: if there was a record label, excuse me, what record label that you would love to sign to? Like you had like a choice of all the record labels, which one would it be?
Interscope for sure.
Yeah, I think that's what you said last time.
They got the biggest artists right now. They got the baby. They got Billie Eilish. I don't know if you know who she is. She's like one of
Yeah,
the
that's
big
one girl.
pop artists, going crazy right now. They got some hit. I can't think of those are just the only two I could think of off top. But yeah, Interscope for sure. I've been hearing about Interscope for a while. I did my research
Hmm.
and I looked at like what they bring to the table. Now Atlantic was one that I did like
That's an
want to
OG record
for
label.
for a long time, but it was
Hmm.
just I start seeing certain artists get shelved and shit like
Yeah,
that. And I wouldn't, and I understand. Like people don't understand. Like when it comes to labels, like if you're not making the type of music that they want you to make, or they feel like it's gonna appeal to your audience, or just the world in general, they will
yeah.
fucking put you on the shelf because they're like,
Hmm.
okay, he's not really doing that. We're gonna put him on the back burner and put this other artist. We're gonna make him our priority this quarter.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's an ugly game out here. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all business. It's just like football. You know what I'm saying? Like you got this up and coming quarterback, like with Heisman Trophy and shit, and the GM and coach think about starting him and making you as the backup. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to like that, it's a growing evolution of business that's probably not going to change. Because one thing a lot of people don't realize when it comes to like this type of industry, or just this type of work, period, you're always going to have somebody that's going to come under you. You know, you're gonna have some type of youngin that got something new and hot that that comes in this new age of revolution of music or sports that people ain't never seen, and you're there and you're constantly trying to like keep your spot, but at the end of the day, shit gonna happen. You're gonna get replaced sooner or later. I mean, even though you could work yourself being grandfathered in that label, because I heard about that about some artists, it's like Noriega and Busta Rhymes, like you grandfathered in that record label where you still get paid, you know, but it's
Right.
always gonna be somebody that's gonna come up under you and gonna make more money, gonna get more spotlight. So one thing I want to out of this, not just for the listeners, but for you. It sound like you know what the fuck you're doing, but I'm just saying, like, make sure you have something on the back end out of preparation for you once this rap game or whenever you feel like it's over. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
'Cause, you
That's my
know,
goal going into it. Like I really
yeah,
just want multiple businesses, and
yeah,
like I say, the goal is to eventually be independent, even if I have to go through a label because I'm just. It's,
hmm,
it's like I hate to use this term, but it's like I'm using the label for their resources. I'm using, you
yeah.
know, whatever plugs they have to get in these parties with these CEOs and these fucking Fortune 500 guys who have been on the Forbes list for the last 20 years. Like,
But
yeah,
I feel like that's what they supposed to do. Besides try to drain you from your money and your energy, I just feel like people that know the game should teach the game. Like not just string somebody along just to make money out of them. Because I mean, money can make everybody greedy and turn everybody into a dick. But I just feel like once you get somebody on to avoid that negativity and all kind of shit, and for those that you're working with under that record label, for those who are grandfathered in, and that's another thing that there's a stigma on a lot of young artists when they get in the game, once they start making their money. They don't want to pay homage to their pioneers, or they don't want to uh, go to somebody to learn the game, because it's a stigma of like, oh, you just dick rider because he this and he that. Like, no, like I actually want to learn the game, you know, like
That's fact.
I want to, like I said, I want to be independent on my own one day. That way, I won't have to keep leeching off and asking for features and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? But
Ex-
you get what's going on. I'm really just saying this for the listener at this point for up and coming artists, entertainers, or whatever. Um, just saying, don't be afraid to ask questions and hang around with people that know the game. You ain't Dick Rider. You just trying to get better. You know.
Because I'm not trying to be rapping when I'm 40. Like, this is literally, a 10-year plan. Like, I want to rap for, like, 5 to 10 years, and then I'm owning a label. I'm signing artists, I'm signing A&Rs, I'm
Mhm.
PR personnel and shit like that. Like,
Are you trying to be that next Diddy, that next P Diddy?
yeah, pretty much, bro.
Yeah.
Next Baby, next Jay-Z.
Jay Z is still rapping though. He over 40. I think Jay Z damn near 50 or he 50 now.
But he barely does it though. Like, so when he does it, it's like a Drake album. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's
world.
not a whole album. It's just like a feature or something like that. Shit, Kanye got Jay Z on his album to sing that one part, and that was it. Uh, anyway, man, I ain't gonna keep it up for long. Uh, I want to say I appreciate you, all your hard work. Appreciate you for taking the time to hop on this interview for the second fucking time. Um,
Anytime.
hopefully, yeah, hopefully this is it. I mean, at the end of the day, if it doesn't work and I try to get it, I guess I just like talking to you. I guess I don't know. Uh, give everybody your information, your social media, how they can find you, how they can find your music. Go ahead, plug yourself into the listeners right now.
Uh, if you want to follow me on IG right now at the real Be Easy. That's
Mhm.
TheBeeeazy. That's right. It's 4 E's. Beeeazy. It's on IG. Snapchat the same thing. Twitter B_easy318. Facebook, Breland B Johnson for all my Facebookers out there. Uh, all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Tidal, Pandora, you name it. We on there. Just type in Be Easy, Beeeazy. And yeah, man. Rap Gang, Steve Urkel. Did I do that on the beat? Volume 1 dropping real
Yep.
soon. I'll stay tuned for that. This gonna be exclusively on Audio Mac. I'm switching it up this time. I'm not dropping it on Apple or Spotify. I'm switching it up because I got a lot of fans who don't have Apple Music and Spotify, and I thought
Hmm.
since I'm doing a freestyle series, I'll drop it on Audio Mac for all my people. So that link will be coming real soon. I'll make
Is
sure.
that is that the project? Because I'm being disrespectful. I'm being a bad host.
No, no,
I
no.
apologize. I meant to ask you: are you working any new up and coming projects right now? Was that one of them?
Yeah, that's one. I
Okay.
got Be Easy, God Don't Sleep. That's dropping real soon in the fall. We got a lot of visuals on the way. Y'all stay tuned. Double Trouble with me and my boy Question Mark. Double Trouble 2, the sequel. Yeah, we gonna spin the block again. Part 2
Hmm.
coming soon. And yeah, man, we got a lot of shit in the works this year before the year over with. And y'all just stay tuned. I thank all my supporters and make sure y'all follow my boy Ken.
Yeah.
And the show with no name podcast. Support Black podcast
Oh yeah.
because we making a lane right now for ourselves with this Black podcast and this Black radio shit, and it needs to stay that way. Like it needs
Mhm.
to stay that way. My boy will be on Black Effect really soon. I'm calling it right now. I'm claiming it for you right now, putting it out there in the universe. So
All
you
right.
know,
Thank you.
just make sure y'all keep supporting me. Y'all keep supporting my boy Ken and everything that he's doing. And I want to thank you for this opportunity to,
Yeah.
talk to the fans and, even gain new fans, new listeners, and just
Yeah.
drop a little bit of game on people and, just give a little side of my life, bro. For real,
Yeah.
for real.
Shoot, I appreciate that, man. I'm just trying to be the next Don Cornelius out here, man. Just
Man,
trying to be that.
you gonna do it, bro. You gonna
Trying
you
to
gonna
be
be
that next.
good. I see you in that media shit, bro. You been. I saw it in when you said you had a podcast. I was like, it makes sense. I was
Makes
like,
sense.
I know Ken. I'm like, it make fucking sense. Like, yes, this nigga supposed to been had a podcast. For
Yep.
real.
Yeah, just trying to get out there, man. Like I'm gonna get out there. I just got to keep grinding this shit. It's probably gonna take a while. A lot of people see that in me. I mean, I see it in myself, but just like that conversation we had earlier, you know, you got to keep grinding, got to keep going, and you got to speak it in the energy. You got to speak it in the universe. You got to speak it in this world in order to get where you want to go. And I just want to say this for the listeners, like. It's not about me. It's not about him. Like this is for y'all. Um, let this conversation be the motivation that you need in order to pursue your dreams in this world. Because a lot of people need it. There's a lot of things going on right now. So this is be easy speaking positivity into y'all, into your fucking ear. Thank you for listening. This is a show with no name with my special guest, my brother Be Easy. Make sure y'all go ahead, plug in, listen to his music. Fuck what you heard. The coldest rapper straight out of Monroe, Louisiana. Thank you for
Yes,
listening.
sir.
Peace. That
Peace
was
out.
that was